Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. So we finally have our first look at the upcoming He-Man series that's going to be on Netflix. Now this is a series that I believe Kevin Smith was going to be in charge of producing. I'm not sure if he was going to have any kind of like story input, but I know that he was involved basically in the production of this upcoming series. And we're going to talk about what Kevin Smith had to say, but there have been pictures that have been released showing clips of this upcoming series, and there's people that are having kind of a mixed reaction to it. So I just wanted to go over this article that does show some of those pictures, and then we'll also go over what Kevin Smith had to say on his Instagram regarding this continuation, as it were, of the He-Man series from the 1980s. So it says here, He-Man Teela makeovers revealed in first look at Netflix's Masters of the Universe Revelation. Now, I'll go ahead, as always, and link this in the description below if you guys want to take a look at this article for yourselves. But let's go over it here. Mattel Television and Netflix released the first look, Masters of the Universe Revelation, and it turns out the characters, including He-Man, Skeletor, Teela, and Orko, look a lot like they did on the beloved 1980s animated series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, just a bit glowed up. They also announced the show will premiere globally on July 23rd. Since the series was announced in 2019, fans have been speculating just what executive producer and showrunner Kevin Smith, writer-director of Clerks, Chasing Amy, and Dogma, would be doing with the property. As the images make clear, Smith and the team at Powerhouse Animation, also the animation studio behind Netflix's Castlevania series, are paying homage not just to the look of the original series, but its storylines as well. So it says here, so much of the show has been possible because of the love and affection for this world and every level of production and the fandom surrounding this franchise, Smith said in a statement. So many of us were touched by these stories and these characters early in our lives, and we're so happy to come back to Eternia. But even if you've never watched a single episode of the show or don't know this universe at all, you can jump right into the story. It's a really classic, universal action-adventure epic about growth, discovery, magic, and power. The series explores destiny in a fresh way. There's a lot of reconciling with secrets, betrayal, trust, acceptance, love, and ultimately loss. Revelation picks up where the original series left off in 1985. The first episode revolves around a life-changing battle between He-Man, voiced by Chris Wood, and his lifelong nemesis Skeletor, Mark Hamill. Interesting casting choice for Skeletor there. After which, the planet of Eternia is left broken, and He-Man's compatriots fractured and estranged. Let's see, He-Man's compatriot, Teela, who's going to be voiced by Sarah Michelle Gellar, as you all know, Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Scooby-Doo movies, who undergoes the most dramatic visual update on the series, is tasked with reuniting her old friends in order to save Eternia and the universe. Okay, so this is, I want to stop right here because back when this show was announced, there was Kevin Smith saying that, hey, it's going to be a He-Man series. And then there was like conflicting reports saying that the reboot series was really going to center around Teela, which would kind of defeat the purpose of it being a He-Man series, right? Why not just make it, call it Teela, whatever, right? Or Masters of the Universe, Teela's Quest or something, right? This is the thing that really concerned people, is whether or not this series would truly be centered around He-Man or not, and if it wasn't going to be, why even bother calling it that, right? If he's the main character in the series, but if he's got to take back seat, then it's not really a He-Man series at that point, I guess, was people's gripes with it. So this is the thing that people are saying, well, it seems like the focus is going to shift. It might start off with He-Man, but then it might just be completely centered around Teela. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see when the series comes out. But I can understand why people would be upset by that, right? It's kind of a little bit of a bait and switch in people's eyes. So, but let's continue on here. Let's see. While the original series was pitched to children, Smith's take is aimed squarely at the adults who remember the show fondly, including using Mattel's original Masters of the Universe toy line as inspiration for the look of the series, which, that's cool, We're playing with the original mythology and characters and revisiting and digging deeper into some of the unresolved storylines, Smith said. Along with Wood, Hamill, and Gellar, the voice cast is stacked with talent, including Lena Headey as Evelyn, Liam Cunningham as Man-at-Arms, Stephen Root as Cringer, Griffin Newman as Orko, Diedrich Bader as King Randor. That's an interesting casting choice, right? And Trapjaw. Alicia Silverstone as Queen Marlena, and Justin Long as Roboto. Alan Oppenheimer, who plays Skeletor of the original series, is returning as the voice of Mossman. Part 1 of the Masters of the Universe Revelation, consisting of 5 episodes, is written by Smith, Mark Bernardin, Eric Carrasco, Dia Mishra, and Tim Sheridan. Bear McCreary, Battlestar Galactica, The Walking Dead, is the composer, and Frederick Soley, Adam Bonnet, and Christopher Keenan and Rob David are executive producers. Bear McCreary, I believe he did the music for Godzilla King of the Monsters, if I'm not mistaken, as well, or he did some of the music for it. So he's a guy who's done some pretty solid music. So now we have here, these are basically the images. As we see, it does have the look of 1980s He-Man, a little bit updated, right? A little bit updated for this new age. The animation does look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I like the way it looks. Skeletor looks menacing, as he should. I think this picture right here that we're seeing with Teela with her haircut is what got people kind of concerned of where it might be going in terms of whether or not it's going to, whether or not it's going to employ some of the things we've seen in some of these other reboots, right? Of these animated shows, doing things that might be, for lack of a better way to put it, woke influenced, right? And the thing is, look, I think I see this, and yeah, I don't care for it either, because I don't think there was anything wrong with Teela's look beforehand, or why she would need to change it up to go on her own little quest. So I don't care for this look, but I will still give the series a chance just to see, because this doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get something that is going to be heavily saturated with any kind of political or social agenda. We don't know that just from seeing this picture. I mean, although like I said, I don't see any reason to do this, because there was nothing wrong with her look beforehand. I don't see why. I just don't see a good enough reason to give her this kind of updated look. She doesn't need it. I think you could stick to the old look of the characters and it'd be just fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with this look. I mean, she looks like, a warrior princess. I think this looks pretty badass. I like the way this looks. So I don't see why she couldn't just be in this getup, right? And why it has to go to this, and I see that's probably the reason why people are concerned that this might take a turn, and maybe it will. I don't know, but it's not out yet. We're gonna have to really wait till July 23rd to really see if that is the case. Hopefully, it's just maybe the whole reason for her doing this look, and I know I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit here, but maybe the whole reason for her doing this look is a disguise, right? To disguise herself, so that she won't be recognized, maybe, right? Even though it's not that much of a drastic change, it just looks like a haircut, and it looks like she's donning, this different kind of armor and pants and things like that. But maybe that's why, right? For all we know, maybe it's the whole intent of it is to be some sort of disguise. All right, so now let's take a look at what Kevin Smith had to say about this on Instagram, because he also released the pictures as well. And he had this to say: by the power of Grayskull, Mattel and Netflix released 10 images and announced a premiere date for the Eternian epic we've been concocting, Masters of the Universe Revelation. The series is a 2-part story, with the 5-episode part 1 debuting on July 23rd. What you see here is imagery crafted by the fine folks at Powerhouse Creative in Austin, who will also make Blood of Zeus, Seis Manos, and Castlevania. Faithful continuations and recreations of the original classic character designs. Our universe-spanning serial takes cues directly from the beloved 80s cartoon, so longtime fans will be transported right back to their childhoods. But even if you're unfamiliar with the mysteries of Castle Grayskull, our cartoon chronicle is an inviting, engrossing adventure for the whole family, which is something I rarely get to do. work without an R rating on some sort. I'm so proud of our show, as well as all the talented artisans who played with our toys. Keep an eye on Netflix Geeked for more, and get ready for July 23rd, kids, because fabulous secret powers are going to be revealed to you. So, as we see, this is going to be a series that he, at least from what he's saying here, obviously what we can infer from this is a series that is going to appeal to all audiences. He wants it to be something that really appeals to the older fan base that grew up with this series, but is also leaving it open enough for this new generation of fans for them to enjoy, and leaving it open enough that they don't really need to go back into the old series to get caught up to speed. It's going to be its own kind of self-contained story. So that'll be interesting to see. And as we see, he shared a lot of the same pictures, I believe, as you can see here, that were already shared on the other article. But I want to go back to this for a moment, though. And if you guys remember this, and I'll also link this article in the description below if you guys want to check it out. This was back in May of last year, when when Kevin Smith responded to latest report about Masters of the Universe Revelation sidelining He-Man in favor of Teela. So I'm just going to go over this real quick, just as a bit of a refresher. Masters of the Universe Revelation showrunner Kevin Smith has responded to the latest report regarding the show sidelining He-Man in favor of Teela. Early this week, Screen Rant reported on the show, noting that it would pick up where the original 1980s He-Man and the Masters of the Universe series left off. However, they noted there would be one big difference. One major difference is, though, He-Man will certainly be around. He won't be the main protagonist anymore. Instead, the focus will be on Teela. They added, even so, He-Man should still have a large presence, since the series never did get to explore the final battle between He-Man and his greatest enemy, Skeletor. And this was Nerdrotic. He shared this article from Screen Rant, which Kevin Smith did respond to, and we see his tweet right here. Following this report, and it subsequently shared to Twitter by YouTube channel Clownfish TV, Kevin Smith responded. Smith wrote on Twitter, "With all due respect to Screen Rant, I've read every Masters of the Universe Revelation script for our shows, plus wrote a few, and viewed 4 amazing animatics." He added, "While Teela is present, as she's always been in the Masters of the Universe adventures, and she plays a big role, our series is literally all about He-Man." So this was himself. This was Kevin Smith himself, I should say, basically saying, look, she's going to play a big role, but make no mistake, this series is going to be about He-Man. So, given the fact that he wrote for the show, he's executive producer on the show, and kind of the guy really spearheading everything, right? And he said it again here in a follow-up tweet. Like I said, you guys could read this article as well if you want to. As showrunner, I really could have used these story suggestions before we locked the scripts. However, no, He-Man does no stepping aside, and Teela has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Before Revelation, we were calling it End of the Universe, because, of course, as we saw with the picture with Teela, that's what led people to think that Teela might be making a revelation of her own about her sexual preference. But I don't think that that's going to be what's happening in this. So again, look, I don't think people should be freaking out. Ultimately, I don't think people should be freaking out based on just this, although I could understand, given that so many things have been ruined by people pushing an agenda instead of trying to tell a good story with a lot of these shows. I can understand people's hesitancy and why they see something like this and they're a little bit apprehensive about wanting to watch something like this. They're like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I hope this is not what I think it is, and then it turns out being just that. But there could be several reasons to explain this. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to check out He-Man Revelation, because He-Man was something that was near and dear to me growing up, as well as my older brother. It's something that there's a lot of stuff me and my brother watched together growing up. So it was kind of a bonding thing for us, as well as, of course, doing the normal things that boys do, play outside and things like that and get into trouble. But I don't want to solely base whether or not this series is going to be good based on one image that we don't know the full context of just yet. So I'm still going to give it a chance. But again, I understand people's apprehension when they see something like this because of all the things that we've seen that have been rebooted and that have been basically sullied with an agenda instead of good storytelling. So we'll just have to wait and see, but let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. What do you think of He-Man Revelation, what you've heard so far? Do you think it'll be any good, what you've seen so far? What are your thoughts? I'd really like to know. And until next time, y'all know how it goes. The hunt continues.